and welcome back for another slice of cake. Huh?
Welcome back.
Yeah. We still haven't decided exactly what kind of cake it is that we're making.
Especially how it begins.
How it begins.
The cake.
Yes? What the hell are you talking about?
We just spent the last few minutes talking about how we introduced this podcast.
Oh, the meta. Okay, we're getting meta. Yes, we were trying to figure out what we were going to do to introduce. As you can see, we're in a different location. We're no longer in the basement, and that is because the couch down there sucks.
And we got a new couch.
And Ketty's very pregnant, so she's got to sit a certain way.
I love this couch also. We got this couch mainly because I am pregnant and because I was so very uncomfortable on our old couch that is currently outside of our house.
Yeah, we're going to find somebody on Facebook to take it, or I'm going to load it up and take it to the dump. Anyway, so we're still working on the format of this podcast, and I think right now, I'm sorry, I love you, but you can't. What we're going to be doing is starting off with just like addressing some comments, and then we'll kind of get into the topics. Today's topic is going to be how perception and like how we are perceived online. Not just because I think, you said you did a poll, right? And that one got number 2 or 3?
Yes.
European 3.
Yes. So the topic was our lives online versus our lives offline. Like, what is the difference? And so perception falls into that. Definitely.
I wrote some questions for it, and we're going to kind of dig around as we go through it. Mm-hmm. But before we get there, to start off, addressing comments.
Which also goes along with the perception.
It do.
And a lot of you guys, thank you so much for the comments that you leave on the videos every time. We really appreciate it. It helps this very, very new channel to get in front of more eyes.
True.
So, even the haters commenting are really helpful.
Plus,
so
we're mildly interesting.
Thanks for that. Thankfully, there weren't a lot. This channel is, I think, sought by people that really like us.
It's kind of like a funnel. Like, by the time you're finding out about this channel, it's more than likely that you kind of dig our whole thing.
Yeah.
And, like, that, with that.
So, I mean, comments on our other channel, the Normies, are sometimes... they're varied.
Yeah. I'd say it's not even 50-50. It's like 10%, but that 10%,
is loud.
It is loud, but also it hits hard because you're self-aware. I'll say that on my own personal channel where I do film photography that you should go check out, NewSense88, NEWCENTS88. Go. I've got a handful of videos. It's very interesting stuff, I promise. Also, I'm a super huge nerd, so maybe it's to me to decide. But those comments, they're positive. And for that's it. And I love that. And the comments here are very positive, too. There are a few that aren't, but, it's whatever. And so... we're going to be addressing mostly the positive ones, but also some of the non-positive, the negative ones.
Yeah. Well, since you mentioned your channel, I know in our last video you expressed some doubts about the journey you've taken and how successful it's been.
Yeah.
I do have some comments that are encouraging for you from World's Famous 2.
Oh.
We know this guy. I care about film photography. I care about you both. 2 dope-ass goofballs who are actually really intelligent people contributing something that makes the world just a little bit more intelligible and enjoyable. It takes a lot of courage to put yourself out there like this. Normies, fucking social norms. Thank you so much for leaving that comment. That's very encouraging.
And also the stuff like this does help because, I think when it comes to working online, so much of it is a blank screen. A quiet camera,
your
own thoughts.
To the camera on your own, in your room, seeming like a crazy person.
That's why I think the Normies work so well, because it's us watching TV, which you're getting like that pretty genuine experience. And this works really well, too, because it's the both of us talking, which is like 90% of the stuff that we do. But like I think when you're like by yourself or you have to do it alone, it feels like you're kind of crazy. And then if you don't see the reception that you think you're going to see, then it also feels like, oh, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. But I try to remind myself that I do it because I do enjoy being a storyteller, and I enjoy sharing this part of my life with other people. So I do it because I like it. It's just good to feel like you're not in a void.
Yeah, for sure. And to add to the encouraging words for you, Chris, Music F3B said, Chris, I 100% think your solo stuff would pop off. I think it's just a matter of exposure, which might be a pun. I don't know film.
No, that is a pun.
Yeah. So yeah,
Pun. All right.
keep it going.
Sweet.
There's potential. There's a lot of people that were very happy about the topic we discussed last time, which was ethical non-monogamy. A lot of people were really curious how, I guess, the conversation was brought up, how it all happened, and how it's been working out. So we appreciate all of you guys who left those comments.
Did we tell them? We didn't tell them the origins story of that, did we?
The entire podcast was about it.
Really?
Yes. Were you here?
Was I?
One of my Chris's was here.
Yeah. You've got other Chris's? I'll kill them. No, only thing I remember about the last podcast is all of the technical trouble I had and like trying to fix it. Like
yes,
I literally
we did have technical issues.
Don't worry, the technical issues are fixed. I've done tests. There's test videos now. Like I got this locked in. These guys right here sync up with this camera super well.
Yeah. So one of our viewers within premises says, I'm glad you guys shared this part of your life with us. It's rare to come across people discussing non-monogamy, and it makes me feel better seeing it possible with healthy communication.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh God, what is this username? APTXEW8GQ. I just found out that you guys are non-mono. I truly appreciate this podcast, and since I'm curious how this works for the both of you and for some. Unfortunately, I can't talk openly to anyone about this since this discussion is taboo in where I live.
It is. Well, it's taboo here too. Probably not as much as where you live, because I don't know where you live, but I'm going to assume off of that it's probably a little more. But yeah, it's a taboo subject in general. We went for the bi lighting behind us, but because it's so bright, it's very hard to tell. It's super low-key bi lighting.
Yeah, but I'm sad that you don't feel like you can express yourself freely where you live, and I hope things get better for you. Some people really want us to do another video, like a follow-up, where we explain like the boundaries that we have and how we, I guess, negotiate.
I don't know. I feel like that might be a boundary to cross. There's too much.
Yeah,
we got an OnlyFans and we got this. You can't know it all. You gotta be thinking for yourself a little bit. I feel like it's good to give the information, but I don't know that that's our lane. Like I'm not exactly here for education. I'm here for like general experience. From like a 10,000 feet up type of deal, I think. Because I know some of you could tell. I was uncomfortable the last one. Because I was like, how are we going to dance around this? Because like, I don't know. My family could see this. And you want to be careful with the way that you talk about things.
So, I mean, yes. So one of the PDM has asked, how did your friends and family react to this?
I don't think my family knows. I think they assume. All of our friends are kind of
my family definitely does not know, but my opinion also is that it's not really any of their business.
Yeah. One of my friends was pretty upset. He was like, what the fuck? And I was like,
oh, yeah.
Why are you mad? He was like, I don't know. I'm just mad. And I was like, okay, it's kind of a weird take, but all right.
It is also assuming that a friend that also frequently cheats on their partners.
He do. Love him to death, but he definitely do. And I was like, you already kind of doing it, bro. I mean, he was like, yeah, but it's different. And I was like, well,
it certainly is different.
Yeah, I get what some people don't like it. I told the story about the kid from New York that I was hanging out with in Chicago, and like, yeah, it's not that I like monogamy. I do think it's for a lot of people. I also think monogamy is for us. We're much more monogamish than we are anything else.
Yes.
And so like, I don't know, just like a brief detour. Like I feel like maybe it's just because of the day and the age we live in. Maybe it's because millennials have opened up the gates of ass eating that everyone's willing to take a step slightly outside of the center. But like I feel like I know we got friends. I'm thinking of two different couples that we're friends with. They both have kids, and like one of them monogamous, the other monogamy, the other one not at all, and like they're super happy and they do well. And then I got plenty of other friends, maybe it's just because of the circles I'm in, that are like, I don't know, like monogamy isn't everywhere. It's in a lot of places by a large choice, but it's not. This isn't that far out.
Yeah, I think in our case specifically, for those of you who actually listened to the podcast last time and didn't just cast judgments in the comments, Jacob is weird. I'm looking at you specifically.
Oh, don't call it any more names. I don't have to bleep them all out.
No, I don't care.
Damn.
They be online like this. That's on them. This was the most frequently, the person that commented the most. Mostly in responses to other people asking actual questions. This person was like, "You cuck."
Two things. One, not a cuck. Two, if I was, isn't it that I would want to be? Do you know what a cuck is? Like, in the actual, like, community, they're all very excited and happy to be cuckolded. That's, like, their thing. Yeah. They're, like, jazzed the fuck up on it.
Yeah. But I think the main issue... I guess, and then this goes into the topic of perception, is there were some people that were commenting like they definitely didn't listen to the podcast.
Yeah.
And basically just were very specifically mad that you let me, even though really I haven't really done anything.
I feel like this...
I like we have this status, but I don't even like use my hall pass ever. So it's funny that I'm being judged here. You were definitely recommended to get a paternity test.
Oh yeah. Oh.
Yeah, stuff like that. I mean, there was quite a few comments like this, which was weird to me because it just clearly means that some people look at the title and look at the thumbnail and started a keyboard warrior.
I mean, people pause, and I think, all right, so to get into perception online, I was young once, and I remember being, you guys know me already, I'm pretty opinionated. I've actually become less opinionated over time, but I remember being like mad and like watching, not mad, but like watching a video and someone says something that I like vehemently disagree with and like pause. I'm in the comments, and then I'm watching the rest of the video. But that's like, it's like,
I have also done this.
Yeah, right. But yeah, so you get it. It's like being a reactionary about shit where like I'm already having this argument with you in my head. Like we're doing it back and forth. It's a video that some dude recorded forever ago. I used to yell at people about using picks when playing bass. I used to get online, watch a video about
what's wrong with you?
Because when you play bass, you use your fingers. But you can use a pick. It doesn't. That's what I'm saying. Like I was young and I was super opinionated, and like I would be online, and my first thing was to jump down people's throats and like get in the comments and fight about it. Real bass players only use their fingers, or like and to continue on this exact same rant. And this one is super fucked up. But like in school, they were like, real musicians know how to read music. Bullshit. Like I grew up from like junior high to like the end of high school, like believing that, like that was what I believed. And then I went to a music camp where a bunch of the kids who were, spoiler alert, all mostly fucking black and from Gary, were all playing music. And I was like, damn, how'd y'all get so good? And they were like, they were like, play something. I'd play it, and they'd be like, oh, I could pick that up. I'm like, how? And they're like, I learned how to play by ear. And I'm like, you are a vastly better musician than I am. Like you can do something that I can't do. Your skill set is more versatile. And it was like, I can't read music though. And I was like, well, I mean, I can, and none of the music written here is to be read. Like some of it like isn't even note by notes. It's just like a general vibe. So like I would yell at people about that shit, like in comments on the internet. You can't read music. You're not a real musician. You know who wasn't a real musician because he couldn't actually read music? Jimi Hendrix. And then I would say that and be like, that doesn't make sense, bud. You got to like think for yourself and shit. So that's how some of y'all are.
That's so funny.
You're teenagers, I assume.
Well,
I don't know.
I have always been super into politics. I've always, it's just like part of like my, I don't know, who I am as a person, I guess. I care about the state of the world. And this is something that I've done for a few years, and then I stopped because I realized how unhealthy it is for me.
Yeah.
But there's like news like websites, and sometimes there is a comment section. Oof. I just learned to like not even go into the comments, because every time I would go into the comments, it's literally like the first comments. It's just like, you read an article about something, you know, and my conclusion is A, and then the first comment's conclusion is Z.
The first comment's conclusion is 12. You're like, oh shit.
Yeah, well, it's just, I don't know. It's hard to explain, because also I think the general like politics of an average person in Czech Republic is very different from mine, and so I was just like in those comments, like just having an argument with myself, more or less, and it was just so bad.
We bring this up because like I understand.
Yeah.
I think it's annoying, and I think that these people who are doing this, no matter what their age is, needs to grow out of it. But like, I understand it, and I think that knowing, like, sometimes to get into perception online. Hold on, your boy took some notes today.
This podcast is brought to you by Chris's Notes, because I didn't feel like doing it.
So for perception online, and especially because of Normies, I feel like there are times when I feel like I'm under a microscope, or like, you know, when you have an argument at work or wherever, or a conversation, you're like, fuck, I should have said this, or I should have done that. And like, sometimes, especially like, I get into that mindset, for instance, and I can already see this shit coming. But the episode of Boondocks, season 4, episode 1, I think that's the one with Pretty Boy Flizzy. No, it's season 4, episode 3, I think. It's 3.
Pretty Boy Flizzy is the one you want to talk about? Okay.
Yeah, because like, so everyone's already comparing us to Tom and Sarah. It's fine. Tom and Sarah are having a rough partner relationship, and that day I was having a particularly bad day. I think I set out of a reaction that day. Like, I set out the whole morning. I had to like get my shit together. Like, I was having just a bad fucking day, and I sat down to watch that, and like, it was uplifting, and I was laughing and shit, because it's out of season 4. It's one of the episodes I actually do like. But I was like, damn, like, I know that because I got a sour face on and I'm not in a good mood, the comments are already about to be all over our shit. It's about to be like, oh my god, you already know Marquetta done did this, that, and the other. I'm like, and then you get stuck there, and it's like, damn, like, I'm already kind of ruined this reaction, and so then I'm working my way out of it and just being mad about like other shit, and it's wild.
And then you call me out by saying that I went to Chris Brown concert, you asshole.
You did.
I did. But that was random. If it was any other fucking person, I would have been there.
Yeah, I know. But I mean, for the episode, it was funny. I hope that still come across as like fucking with you and not as like being mean. No one try to be mean. But it's like, so like moments like that when it's like, okay, this is the height. Or like, if you don't like something else, like if you're having a bad day in an episode of Buffy and it's about like Willow and Tara's relationship, people are like, oh my god, like that's how you guys feel about gay relationships. And it's like, no, like, and like people put their own shit on you, and you don't want to have to fight against it. But like, I know who I am, and I try to project that on the internet, but that's not always what people get, because it's a conversation, even though it's mostly us doing anything, and it's how y'all receive it. It's wild.
So we've been, you know, sharing our lives online for almost 10 years, 9 years,
God,
8 years, I don't know, 8 or 9 years, close on 10, don't matter. But I think I've definitely adjusted myself a lot. I think that at the beginning, you know, when the Normies was at its infancy, I was just being who I am. That did not pay off. Because I feel like when you just put yourself out there as genuine as you are, it doesn't matter, because people filter you through their own understanding of who you are.
Through their own perceptions.
Through their own perception. And that hurts so much more when you're misunderstood while being genuine. And I'm not saying that I've completely changed how I present myself. I still do my best to express my values and express who I am and represent myself.
Yeah.
But I am also aware of how to phrase things in a way that really conveys what I'm trying to say.
Yes.
And like in the past, I would be more careless. Or like, no, they understand. Like they know me. But no, you guys don't know me. And so I've become much more like particular with like the words that I choose and how I say things.
I think it's made you a better entertainer for sure.
I would hope so. But I think there's just you can't. I think communication happens both ways, and you as the person that is communicating something can only do so much for it to be perceived as you want it to be.
Yeah.
Because it always goes through another person's filter, and if they already have a preconceived bias, then they will just take whatever they want from it, or they will not even listen to what you have to say, which sucks. But it is what it is. I mean,
some people are just built to not hear you, and the best part is you still fuck with those people. Like, that's it. Once we get to this when this video comes out,
it's not always that easy.
When this video comes out, if there's anybody in the comments who's like, "Oh, it's bullshit, fucking cap, line up," tight, then I already know that you're just a person I'll never engage with, and that's great because like
Jacob.
Now I know, and I'm good. It's like there are times on the internet, for me at least, when like I'm watching someone's videos, I'm thinking about no bullshit, who like during the height of like Trump and shit, like I was going to those videos just to be on, like, because he's posting stuff about like a lot of pop culture things. He's posting stuff about like, and I was like, this dude feels like regular right wing guy, but he also feels fucking racist. Like I know this guy is racist. Like he's saying,
I don't think I know no bullshit.
No, I'll have to show him too. Well, maybe. Hopefully he's fucking dead and not online. Like dead and not online. I don't care about his real life. I just hope he's not on the fucking internet no more. But this dude was like, I was like, I can tell. And then eventually, you know, some of those internet sleuths got on him and they started dropping videos and being like, bro, we got it. Boom, 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 boom. And I was like, like that. For one brief moment, it feels good to be like, oh, the universe is right with me. And I think that maybe some of the people that are mad in our comments assume that like we're hiding something or we're on some like ultra super secret level and that they'll out us and they'll be like, like it's finally right. But like, I don't know, at best, I can't even think of what we would be lying about at best. But like this dude was like, I was like, this guy's fucking racist. And guess what, man? He just felt so good. It felt like sitting under a waterfall and like finally hitting Nirvana for a brief second and being able to see everyone's bullshit.
So what are some of the ways that people perceive you as that are inaccurate?
Or
something that like hurts you when you read it that you're like, come on, really?
Yeah. I mean, I do think I am a bit of a know-it-all, but I feel like I have like, I'm much more eager to share fun facts and shit. The fun fact guy,
you are an
as someone told me recently in one of the comments, and I was like, I am, but that's just kind of me. And I don't know, I retained a lot of dumb shit information in my head, and sometimes I'm wrong, but I feel like a lot of times I'm like kind of right. I think whenever it's about like black culture shit, when people are like, you don't know what you're talking about, like I grew up black. I think I do though. I'm talking about my experience. We don't have the same experience, everybody. And I feel like I'm trying to think. Okay, like, all right, here was a good one. We were watching it was the This Is America video, right? It's forever ago. Yeah. And like Naheed was super excited about it, and he was in and he was watching. He's like, oh, this is that. And like I'm really watching it to like consume it, and I'm seeing that like, oh, this shit's on levels, right? So I'm like trying to figure out like what everything is, and I'm a little more quiet and I'm a little more subdued because I'm like trying to shut the fuck up and listen. Like this shit's hot, right? An important video. And then like a bunch of comments were like, bro, Naheed's on point. Chris is in a sunken place. He don't even know what's going on. It's like, I'm trying to fucking listen. It's a thick ass song. Like I feel like when something's big and kind of important, I'm less reactionary and I'm much more like, let me try to see what's going on. And a lot of times that gets perceived as in like I'm not feeling it, or I don't know what's going on, or it's all going over my head. But like I think I can tell when something is gonna be thick and it's gonna be a bit of a thesis, and I'm like, let me shut the fuck up and kind of try to like soak this in so I can see what's going. You know what I mean? It's hard to make jokes and quips and be on point when it's like, oh shit, what is Gambino's doing something that feels like it might be really important. Yeah. Let me try to focus. So that shit.
And that specifically, that video would probably also go back to people questioning your blackness.
Oh, that's a fun one.
Yeah. And
which I had even before I moved out of Gary. People used to say you sound like a white boy, and I was like, I just go to a school with gifted and talented. They fucked me up.
Yeah. Once again, I don't know if you guys heard it, but he's from Gary, and
I mean, it's not. I'm not even going for like certified street credit, boy. We out here, blah blah blah. No, it's like, I mean,
it is important to add to your like canon, you know, as a person. I mean, your formative years were spent there, and you developed certain, you know, personality traits and anxieties because of that place that you grew up in.
And it was very black. I had a great black experience. But then we moved down here, and we lived on the west side, and my friend group went from being like 90%, not 90, went from being 100% black to being like, say maybe like 50-50, probably less than 50-50, because the first neighborhood we stayed in had a pretty high black population. It was Ashton Point out on the west side. It's not even called Ashton Point anymore. I don't know why I'm shouting out. None of you motherfuckers know. But it was kind of nice. But a lot of my friends was cool and shit. And then like my first day at school, like I was in a classroom where I was the minority for the first time. And I was like, damn, this is kind of wild. But I mean, it's cool. And like I make friends and just kept friends. And my friend group has stayed pretty diverse, I feel like throughout life. I mean, you've seen the couch. But yeah, so that shit is always like that. And I mean, I'm old now. I care less. I feel like I'm as black as I want to be, and that's always going to be how it is. I'm about to raise a little mixed kid. I mean, you know, she's going to be black because that's how she's going to be perceived. And I'm definitely excited about that. And we do talk about how we're going to split culture and try to figure that out. Like,
yeah,
that'll be fun. Church, but not for religious reasons, but because you got to be around the grandmas with the big hats just for a little bit. That's just a part of the camp. You just got to. I don't know why.
Yeah.
And then when you listen to Donda 2, you're like, oh, I get why the music's the way that it is. Donda 2 wasn't super great, but some of the songs, they felt like, I was like, I mean, he from Chicago, the region. I was like, this feels like some church music, but with Kanye over it. Hey, some of them songs was good. I'm going to go get a water because I'm super thirsty. But now why don't you tell them, I'm just right off camera. I'm not leaving you alone. But why don't you tell them how people perceive you that you dislike?
Okay, I have one example. There is many, but the one that bothers me a lot that's related to our relationship is people perceive me as your boss. And I hate it. And like, I feel like this isn't just the case online, but sometimes even in our regular lives.
Who does it in our regular lives?
It doesn't happen that way anymore, but I feel like in the past, like when I just, you know, became part of the Normies friend group, like I did feel a few times that people thought that I was like telling you how to act and things like that, which is like, I don't know what about me or about us and how we interact with each other gives people the perception that I am the boss of you. Because, like, I have seen, I'm not going to call anybody out, but I have seen people pick up outfits for their partners. I don't do that shit. I don't care to, like, change who Chris is. And that's the thing that bothers me so much, because I find this whenever someone mentions this specifically really like hurts me on a deep level, because I was in a relationship where I was the one being controlled like this, you know, someone telling me like what is okay for me to wear, what's not okay for me to wear, what friends I can have and what friends I can't have, and like, you know, that
very controlling.
It's something
gentleman.
that I told myself I will never deal with in a relationship again. And two, I would never do to another person. And so when people think that that's what I do with you, the person I love, I'm like, what gives you the idea that I'm a controlling psycho? Like I'm literally not.
No.
Yeah.
Perception shit.
And so yeah, that one really cuts deep just because of my past experience. And I'm like, I don't know what it is about me that so often gets interpreted this way. And also about like us as a couple dynamically, when people look at us, they think I'm like dominant, when I'm literally not.
I just had a new fun worry that people that hate us the most are going to use this entire conversation and just mentally
Yeah, I
fuck
don't
it.
give a shit. I
Just
mean,
gonna ignore it, but yeah.
I feel like talking about it makes it clearer and people can use it. But, I mean, this is what it is.
I was in a relationship where she was controlling in a way that she just didn't like any of the stuff that I did. It was always a problem. But then, like, after that, I was like, no, I don't really want that. I want to, I want to still be me, even in a relationship. And I think we kind of sparked it. I don't know what it is about you. People just think you the fucking honcho, I guess. We're co-honcho.
Somebody explain to me.
We're co-jefe. We're co-Jeff.
Also, I feel like I'm a very introverted, quiet person. I am very passionate about certain things, and I will have my very strong stances and opinions. But I also feel like over like the years, I've changed so much, and my opinions have changed. As I learn, my opinions shift. But overall, I feel like I've always been like socially timid. And so people perceiving me as dominating is really weird to me.
You told a story about slapping your ex fuckboy in the face on the streets
At
in
his
a busy
workplace.
city at his workplace.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe people hear that
He
and just
deserved
think
it.
you Billy Bad. I mean, there you go. I don't know. People are like, you told that story about that one time your friend owed you money. You fucking hawked her down in the
She
street.
deserved it too.
See?
I mean, those two people had it coming. I mean, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, it's.
The fact that I'm timid doesn't mean that I can be fucked with.
I like that. You don't have to. Don't stare deep into the. Scare people. Yeah, it's a weird one. It's. I don't know. I don't know what it is about people that make them think these things. But I don't know. You kind of everybody wants to put everyone else in a box to some extent, and like being able to put things in a box helps you to understand.
Yeah.
I was reading, or not reading. I was on Imager, and I was reading this thing about a waiter, and the waiter was like, whenever I see two people of the same sex sitting down, like whichever one I think is the top, that's who I give the check to when they ask for one check, right? And they're just like, all these waiters are out here assigning people like top and bottom based off their check, because like I don't know, I think that's just there's something in society where you want to. I guess when you find a group of people, you want to figure out who you think the boss is. I don't know what it is. Maybe some of that, it's old lizard brain. No, that sounds like chimpanzee brain shit, where you want to be on that. All right. So the question is how do you deal with it? How do you deal with the comments essentially? Because I feel like.
With like wrong perception, like being misinterpreted.
Yeah, if someone's mad at me for a take that I meant to have, that I was trying to have, that's fine. They just disagree. But if someone misinterprets me and they're mad about it, for me, who I am, my first instinct is to try to clarify it.
Yeah.
It used to be. It's not anymore, because like that's like, for the most part, you're not going to do anything. I like to respond to positive comments now about shit. I like those are the ones that I'm like, no, like focus on that.
That's why we spent the first few minutes highlighting the really good ones, and we really appreciate the positivity, and it's unfortunate that the negative ones are the ones that kind of stick with us. But I guess I don't know, there's something about being misunderstood that just like is disheartening.
How do you deal?
Well, I don't care anymore, because I don't have the mental capacity to, try to understand why people perceive me in a certain way. And it's also literally impossible to solve, so I don't care. I just don't. But it to an extent, I do care if I am being misunderstood about something that's really important to me. And I will... and I mentioned, as we were talking about earlier, like how I started to change how I phrase things so that I'm better understood. If it's something, that I truly want to be like, hey, I just want to make this clear. This is what I meant to say. I don't know if what I just said made it clear, but this is what I meant.
That's me in the rap beef comments.
So if it's something really, like I really want it to be understood where I stand, or if my opinion is like vastly different from like the rest of the couch, like with the normies. Like there was something we were talking about, like tough love,
Yeah.
or yeah, I don't know. I think it was tough love, and I was just like, okay, I just want to be clear because Mickey. I think it was Mickey was like, well, it's just like tough love, like it's just how he shows that he cares, and I was just like, okay, pause. And because most of the couch was also kind of on that same, and I was just like, okay, I just want to like clarify that I don't agree with this. Okay, moving on.
Yeah, I think clarifying exactly what you mean, but there's a balancing act because you don't want to be too in here and being like, oh no, but like what I mean by that is like you want to just be like, okay, it's a linguistic and slight performance arty dance in which I need to convey to y'all how I feel about something without being super insecure about like the way it's getting delivered and shit. Like during the rap beefs, this was the same weekend Kendrick just dropped Not Like Us last night. As we're talking, there's probably another one hitting the internet right now. He's gonna do a whole album, but I really care about this shit because like this is a part of my culture that like I fucking love. I have a music tattoo. I've done fucking a few rap albums. Like I love this shit. So like I really feel like I'm in tune. Like I want to be like, this is what I meant. And while we're watching it, Kendrick has a lyric. It was either Kendrick or Drake. They both have lyrics where they're like, this was supposed to be friendly, or like I didn't really want to have to do this. And it's like, and I was like, I don't believe you. And someone in the comments was like, I can't believe he said he doesn't believe. It's like, all right, shut up. Like, what I'm saying is, it's like, what you missed is like, I don't believe they're trying to be friendly. They're not, like, at all.
They're
like that's
not friendly.
That's a wild take. And like, I don't know when it's
those
something.
are not even rubber bullets. Those are real rounds.
They are upset. People, the top comments keep being like, I don't think Kendrick likes Drake very much, but like I care about that a lot. And it's like 4 people on the couch, and we're all hype, and we're listening to a music video, and also or listening to music, and also reading the lyrics, and like trying to get our point across. And it's like that shit is like, you gotta find your moments, and it's kind of crazy. But like that, I deal with it by picking my battles. I deal with it by mostly ignoring a lot of shit. And then also like being super clear on my own point when I think it really matters.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So prioritizing is definitely, I guess, the strategy.
Main strategy.
Because there's some things that like some people will just assume about me. I was like, I don't give a 2 shits.
Yeah.
And then
or if it's funny.
Yeah.
If it's something you perceive about me that's wrong and it's funny, then I let it slide 100%. I'm like, no. If it makes me laugh, I'm like, okay.
Mean, funny comments are the best. But if something's just mean for the sake of being mean, or if something is just like, you just really didn't understand what I was saying, did you? Then, I mean, again, depending on the topic, that does suck.
Yeah.
But again, I think my main strategy is not caring. And if it comes to the point where I begin to care too much, then it's time to take a break from reading comments.
Yeah.
Because that always helps. It kind of refreshes you, and then, whenever you're mentally in a better place, you can go back in there again.
When you had shorter hair, you were perceived as a Karen a lot.
Yeah. It's a very unoriginal insult, I'd say. Also because I also don't know how you can, if you know me, how you could believe that I would ever like be an asshole to like wait staff or call the police on a black person in a park because they're walking their dog wrong. Like, it's not who I am. So
I feel like you would be mad. You would be like, I can't believe this happened. You would call me like, what the fuck?
I would be the person intervening. I would be calling the police on the Karen. You know what I
like
mean?
when people call us social justice warriors, it's like, okay, sure, that's apt. But also like,
I am.
Yeah, no, I want more social justice. Why the fuck wouldn't I? You want less? That's a weird take.
You want social injustice?
Right? You're okay with that? If you could do something. And there's plenty of people who do it annoyingly. Because guess what? There's plenty of people who do everything fucking annoyingly.
Yeah. So, I guess that is how I deal.
Nice. We're right here at the halfway mark, and I think we're going to dip into a little bit of something else that goes along with being perceived online. It's not very heavy, but it's about being an international interracial couple.
What?
Yeah, because a lot of how we're perceived too is about like
Oh,
the culture in between us.
I have learned so many new slurs
Oh yeah,
about.
that was like 2016,
This
2017. I had to Google some shit.
There's new ones that keep coming. Even on our channel. What was it? There was like some word that described me like in a biblical way of being like wrong for you.
Biblically wrong for me.
It was yeah, because it was from the what are those like the black Israelites?
Oh yeah.
What was that word?
I don't even remember.
It's like Chris, good for you, but I couldn't be with a blank.
I say
that was a word for a white woman that only exists in the black Israelite.
I want to say
canon.
yammy, but I don't think that's it.
A what?
Yammy? Was it?
A yammy.
I don't remember. I don't remember.
Is that what the Justin? Oh my God, what's his name?
Justin Bieber?
Justin Bieber's song is about.
The one where he says he got his peaches out in Georgia?
Not the yummy.
Oh, God, Jesus. Hopefully not. I'm also pretty sure I made that up. That can't be
Yummy.
the word at all.
Not, no, that's not. But it was something like Jezebel.
Yeah, you fucking floozy. Yeah,
Floozy.
that shit's weird. I feel like there's a lot of interracial couples here, and we've both dated people outside of our race and people from the same races as us and the same nationality. Mostly the same nationality. I haven't. Not you though.
Me?
Most of your boyfriends been Czech.
I've had Czech boyfriends.
I said the most of them though.
No.
Nah, nice. Okay. Anyway, but so here's what I want to say is that I wanted to ask: have there ever, and we've been dating for almost our 8-year wedding anniversary is coming up.
Yeah.
So we'll have been dating for 8 years and 6 months around it. But I feel like culturally we've never had like any like cultural headbutts. There were when like big like what the fuck moments or moments when we have to sit each other down and explain something about each other's culture. I have 2.
Oh God.
One is the first time you came over and you opened an umbrella in the fucking house. And I didn't realize.
I still don't get it.
I don't get it either, but it pissed me the fuck off. You can't do that shit.
I don't understand.
You're just not allowed to.
Listen, okay.
Just don't fucking do it.
If you have an umbrella that you have used, therefore it is wet, you want to take it home with you and open it above the tub and leave it in the tub until it dries out. That's what we do.
I'm not saying that that's not practical. I'm just saying that the first time you did it, I was ajar.
Because now
aghast.
My umbrella
taken
is
aback.
rotting with water stuck in it.
You can do it now. It's been years. I'm used to it. Now you can do it. It's just that I wasn't.
I'm not going to do it. Because now I'm traumatized.
No. I'm sorry. You can do it. Please. Go open that umbrella.
No,
Live your life.
I'm not going to open that umbrella in the house ever again.
You can open it in the shed.
Oh, God.
Other than that, I don't know. There's been like.
You said 2. So what's the second one?
Oh, I was talking about something. I was trying to relate something to work, and I accidentally quoted the words from outside of Auschwitz.
Oh.
I don't remember what it was, but like, and you're just like, never say that again. And I was like, what? Why? And you're like, shit. I was usually I don't even fucking play about that. I was like, oh, my bad. Like I didn't know. I don't even know why I said the phrase, but it was like
work makes you free.
Yeah.
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I was talking about people who don't want people who are, I forgot what it was, but it wasn't in relationship to something else. But it's like I don't know because the part of Czech you lived in is pretty close to Auschwitz, and also like your grandmother was
have been there,
captured by the fucking Nazis. So like yeah. That's not an area of play, which is tight. I'm here for it. I get it.
I really don't remember.
I don't remember what it was in reference to.
I remember that I remember that we had that conversation, but I don't remember being like super pissed about it or anything.
No, I don't think
it was
you were.
just like
I wasn't pissed about the umbrella.
Shocked. I guess.
Umbrella.
It's like, what the fuck did you just say?
No, I think it's mostly us learning about each other's cultures. Because while
and it's fun.
While there is like plenty of like black culture stuff that, especially like when we're out with my family, that we're doing, a lot of the other stuff is like American culture stuff, which I think is pretty. I was gonna say homogenous, but I mean pretty like popular worldwide. So it's not like it's that weird. There's some stuff like 4th of July, the gun culture, all that shit.
I fucking hate 4th of July.
And then there's like plenty of
I don't care
things.
what y'all think. It sucks.
Oh, it's a hot take. I don't know.
Yeah, well, okay.
I don't even like.
This is what I don't like about the 4th of July.
All right, get it. You go forward and I'm gonna follow it up.
1, people get drunk, which is okay. You do you.
It is
I
the 5th of May
personally
today. Cinco de
do
Mayo.
not like being around drunk people because of previous things in my life. 2, fireworks. I fucking hate fireworks.
Will you put up 2 again?
Because what?
2. Put up 2 with your hand. You doing what? You doing this over there for 2?
I don't know. I'm just stretching my hand.
I'm sorry. I thought we were learning. I thought it was gonna be check 2.
Okay. 1, alcohol. 2, fireworks. 3. 3, guns. Loud. I can't deal. I feel like also just the fireworks specifically, I think that's the first primary reason why I also don't like the New Year's Eve.
Yeah. New Year's Eve.
Yeah, so New Year's Eve, 4th of July, anything involving excess firework, especially when it's in the hands of people that shouldn't have it in the first place, or some like low-key illegal stuff. Because once upon a time, someone threw
it was an M80.
An M80 under a car as we were I was driving. And I was
rough.
ready. This was, that one my ex when he got slapped, my friend when she got slapped. This boy would be the 3rd person, and I would actually run them over.
We were big mad. I was like, they're gone. Where like?
No, I was
on
driving
fuse.
around the block. I was on a drive-by mission.
Do you know what a drive-by is? You can't know.
That's what I was gonna do. Play with my hands.
The funny part about that is that I used to ride the bus home, and the same thing happened to me like a few years before in the exact same spot. Had to be the exact same kid. Motherfucker got me twice.
Yeah, I'm just. I'm not saying 4th of July is a terrible holiday. I want everybody to enjoy the holidays that they want to enjoy. It's not for me.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it at all. I always feel really bad for all the pets and any like, veterans that might feel, like PTSD from all the noises and loud explosions around them. It's just.
I think the thing that's got me,
I don't know.
or that has taken 4th of July down a peg for me, is that growing up in Gary, we used to do 4th of July big. Like, my uncle used to buy us a bunch of stuff. There was this store called Silver Sanders. He had like M80s in the back and like quarter sticks of dynamite and all this cool shit. And we would just go there and get stuff and blow it up. And we would just have fun and celebrate. And it wasn't. And I guess, we are like celebrating America, and there are plenty of things about America and in America to celebrate. But like ever since 2016, I've kind of had a hard time like celebrating America and my country and what we do. Not that I hate America, but I do see that like we can be better and do better. And I do think we're slowly sliding into fascism, and it's becoming a problem. And like, it's hard to get all gung-ho, literally, on a fucking 4th of July about it. But...
Yeah, but I mean, it's one day in a year, and I think it's good to appreciate the good things that this country has done.
We just celebrate Juneteenth. It's right around the same time.
Or that. Yeah, but personally, this is my personal hot take. I think that fireworks are overly commercialized, and firework should only be handled by professionals. I love looking at fireworks.
I worked at a fireworks shop for 5 years. I am a professional.
You are not.
I am a professional.
If, the city sets up like firework display or if I watch the fucking Olympics opening ceremony, or like any, like professionally set up display of fireworks that like takes 10 minutes and it's synced to music, it's like all that. It's beautiful and I love it. If someone just throws an M80 under my fucking car when I'm driving, I will kill you if I find you.
You know what's funny is that if you play your cards right, even here in Indy, you can get whatever the next schedule of fireworks is. I forget because I'm a professional, but the like actual legal ones, like the ones that you're allowed to do off buildings, you can get that shit. There's this thing called a report. Motherfuckers get it in. It's just like, bro, that's hella illegal. So we're talking about some cultural differences. I do think, and perception too. I think a lot of people get you for being like, oh, like we watched the episode The Itis, and somebody in the comments like, oh, I bet Marquetta put peas in her fucking whatever. Here's the funny thing though, is that like you have an ethnically correctly made fucking potato salad that I feel like
we do.
And I didn't even think this at the time when we were first getting together, but one of the coolest things about you being Czech is that there is so many things from your country that I'm like, oh, cool. Like, this is interesting. This is fun to learn. And I do think that there's a lot of Midwest crossover as well. But, like, there's intrigue there, and it feels like it's fun. And two, which is a thing that I didn't even know I was going to be excited about, like, there's no real lineage of chattel slavery. So that's great.
In fact,
the fucking word slave comes from the word Slav. It's pretty cool in a really bad way. But, like... That's some other legacy shit too that I think is pretty cool. Like that was like an interesting part that I didn't think I was gonna know. But you're like, you learn new shit, and it's like this is a fun of having cultural or regional differences either. I mean, whole country.
I'm not gonna try to equate this to any historical events, but once I got my DNA test results, I found out that I was 30% Scandinavian. And you can tell where that came from exclusively. None of my folks came to Scandinavia to loot, Oh, it was the other way around. Yes.
Goddamn Vikings.
Some of my ancestors were definitely, got swifty.
The hell?
So yeah, I mean, that is not. I feel like that makes, in terms of like, I guess, cultural heritage, makes me closer to you than to a person who puts raisins in their mashed potatoes. That's where I was going with that.
Okay. Yeah, I see where you're getting at. I was going to say that.
I don't do that.
The fact that I went to a Czech birthday party for a 1-year-old and it was all fucking... pork roast and beer, and I was like, oh, this is just this is just the West Side.
It's just a get together.
No, this is the West Side. I was like,
the baby birthday is just an excuse for drinking.
Yeah,
just like Cinco de Mayo.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the 4th of July.
Yes.
See, we're not so different after all, you and me.
Well, yes, but again, I think I have an aversion to drinking.
Yeah,
I do drink.
Not
and
now.
I have definitely gotten drunk here.
Not now.
I know I'm not drinking now,
right?
Obviously.
It'd be a whole problem if you was. This would have turned to an intervention. Oh my! See, you're drunk right now. No.
What the fuck just happened?
Look, it pops
It's just
up.
magnetic?
Yeah.
Why am I holding it? Then I can just hold it like this.
Because
why am I holding this?
This looks classier.
Does it?
We're gonna get microphone stands for the next one. Cause I don't know about this anymore.
Okay. Anyway.
I was thinking we could get microphone stands. They sit on the floor, and then they'll put the microphone like right here.
So I'm still gonna hold it?
No, it'll sit on the microphone stand. Sits on the floor, and it puts the thing here. It'll just be hovering here
sure.
like this.
What were we talking about?
Drinking.
Alcohol,
You don't like to drink, so the holidays in which people drink ain't your favorites.
Excessively, yes. And that makes me a very different Czech person from an average Czech person who likes to drink very much. I would say we have a problem.
Yeah. The problem is I ain't got no drink right now. All right. Can you think of any other international, interracial relationship dating things as of right now? Oh my God.
I think, I don't know. I just, there's nothing that like shocked me or that like I felt like was a struggle that we had to overcome as a couple because we were just so different. I feel like we were pretty much compatible from the moment we met.
I learned to drink way less.
Yeah.
I mean, that was important. But I mean, I was working at a brewery. I was hitting it a lot. I was in a band. We were playing shows. I just had to kind of grow out of it, which is good because you don't really want to end up with like a problem. But it's never like you like set an ultimatum. I was like, no, I'm just like, I want to do this for me, so I'm going to do it.
And for me.
And for you.
Yeah.
I mean, I wanted to do it for me because I didn't want to be a drunk ass around you.
Yeah.
It's one of, you gotta want it. Exactly.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. I'm glad you're drinking way less than you used to.
Hell yeah! Until your mom comes. What the fuck was that?
I don't know why you use that hand.
Because it's the closest. Till your mom comes, and me and your mom would be turned up to 10.
My mom likes to drink wine.
I wish your dad was coming too.
My dad likes to drink beer.
I just want to take him to the to Lexington so he can get bourbon, so I can be like, America, yeah, and he'll be like, he'll be all stiff with me and shit.
They would be so nervous coming here. It's gonna be interesting.
Well, we point out that I'll look at your mom and I'll say, me and you, we're not so different. Now we got red wine here too. We'll take her down to the wineries down by Bloomington. She'll love it.
I think here's a culturally challenging thing that I just thought of.
Okay.
And this might be a little controversial.
Okay.
Because I don't know how much
I have no idea what
people
you're
know
gonna say.
about the Czech Republic and its like inner politics and racism, but we do have racism.
Well, you do. I've heard it. I barely understand the language, but I've heard it.
And most of my parents have never had issue with Chris's race. And
I had a whole stand-up routine about this. I thought it was pretty good.
They were really like accepting, and they were really happy when they got to meet him, and we've had a great time together. And what like this is one of the greatest mysteries that I'm trying to understand right now is how, not my parents specifically, but people in my family who also love Chris very much will just say the most racist shit without realizing that maybe that hurts my feelings. Or that, because last time I was in Czech Republic, I was without Chris. And people will just like say shit. You
got to be specific here for people who are curious though. And this racism is directed towards who?
This racism is directed towards the Romani minority in Czech Republic, which just gets a lot of hate.
Which is wild because when I saw them, I was like, oh, like I could see that they're different, but like they're not that different.
Yeah. And then the other separate and much, in my opinion, much more aggressive type of racism that happens in my country is towards Muslims, Muslim immigrants specifically. Even Ukrainian people got some flack, so I feel like no one's safe. No one's safe.
It's kind of confusing though, right?
Yeah. My country is very homogenous, and so any outsiders always kind of looked at as like suspicious. But specifically Muslims get like the most absolutely insane hate.
I feel like I get a bye because I'm American.
Exactly.
Which is wild for any black or brown person who is American. If you go to certain places outside of the country and you project Americanism, like think about all your white friends that are like, nah, dog, pretend like you're Canadian. Nah, your black boy's gonna tell you this. Be American. And people will be like, they kind of can give you a little step. There's a little bit more respect. It's like, this is fucked up. Like, you're like perception once again, instead of perceiving you as like a black person. First, I think, and this is not to say everywhere, but at least the place I've been, which has only been Czech and Cuba. Cuba's completely different. On the race tip is also much more fun. People just assume you're supposed to be there. It was the only place I ever got to be where I felt like, damn, people just assume I belong. And I'm in a completely different country. I don't even speak Spanish. This is amazing. But all that aside, whole entire conversation for a different time. You can be perceived as American first before you're perceived as black in some places. Yeah. And because of that, you can kind of maneuver different. I've like read stories about people like in Italy, and like people are like, this dude was trying to get on an elevator, and this lady, this Italian lady, like put her hand out in his chest to stop him, assuming he was African. Italy's close to Africa. And he was like, excuse me, what the fuck? And she goes, oh, I'm sorry. And he was like he starts like going off on her. She's just like apologizing and really backing it down. And after dude got to think about it, he was like, she had to assume that I wasn't American and like she could do this shit to me. Like she had to assume that like I was a second class citizen or whatever. And, like that wasn't okay. But then like I get loud and I get upset and I get all American, and she's like, oh shit, like I fucked up. Like, okay, my bad. You deserve my respect, which is trash.
So trash.
Very trash. But it's an interesting thing to like observe and be a part of.
Yeah. Yeah, but unfortunately, because, you know, we're going to have a mixed baby, I don't want her, or even you, you know, but mainly her, because she's going to be a fucking clean slate, you know what I mean? I want her to be fucking innocent and, like, not hear racist shit from my own family.
Yeah.
Because I will once again find somebody who deserves to be slapped.
I mean, she's going to be mixed, so she's going to already start off with the struggle of being mixed, which is, you know, not white enough, not black enough, or not Czech enough.
That is society, and I can't fix that, right? I can't fix that.
But we can fix it.
But if my family does something like this, then I have to fix it. And outside of violence, I don't know how to fix it.
Very long and boring conversations, probably.
You know, so when my
setting up an intervention for like, hey, here's a bunch of shit you just can't say no more.
When some of the people that I love very much, last time I visited, said something racist, I had to leave the room. But I made it very, very clear by slamming the door and being very mad that they fucked up. And then I came back 5 minutes later and everybody was quiet because everybody understood what the fuck just happened.
Nice.
And what they said was wrong.
So you're saying that sometimes passive aggression is better than aggression.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. I guess at some point we'll get to communication, but we're not there yet.
Well, when I learn enough Czech, I'll start deprogramming some of your family members one by one.
And it's not like this is so hard for me to explain, but like my parents are not racist. They say racist shit without thinking about it because it's acceptable to say it in where they are. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't even know if that makes sense.
You think if you interrogated them on what they actually believe about?
Yes, I do think that if I made them question what they're saying, they would stop saying it.
Have you done it before?
Yes. One of my very good friend that I made in Turkey, I invited her to my country and she came to visit, and she spent a few days in my home. And you know, my mom was like cooking and everything. Before she even came, I was like, Mom, listen, my friend is a Muslim. She doesn't eat pork. Please have options here, because, you know, Czech Republic is the capital of pork.
Porkopolis, if you will.
And so I was like preparing. Also, my parents in general like to walk around in underwear. So I was like, please, do not walk around in your underwear. They actually, you know, my mom like bought a bunch of like chicken and like all this other like different stuff, like even like sausages. She like went out of her way and she like got like chicken sausages instead of like the regular, you know, pork sausages that she always gets. She didn't do it for me, even though I asked multiple times, but she did it for my friend. And they loved her, you know, and they like still ask like how she's doing and stuff. And they still, however, don't understand that she like represents Muslims in any way. But at the same time, they think that, you know, people who commit crimes on TV represent Muslims.
Yeah. Your parents, they're rural folk, and I think the more time you get to spend around people from other cultures, especially if you think you got biases, it can usually shake out because you just learn that people are people. That's pretty fucking universal. The funniest part about that is that, like, I thought you didn't eat pork until I went back to your house with you for the first time. And as soon as we got off the plane and got in there, your mom made pork and you sat there and ate it. And I was like, why are you eating pork? And you're like, she's not going to give me any other options. So she's willing to give your friend options, but not you, which is hilarious and super sweet in a lot of ways. But, you know, she tried. She does care about you. She just thinks that sometimes you got to eat fucking pork, dog.
Yeah. She thinks she knows what's better for me than I know what's better for
That's
me.
true mom shit.
Yeah.
We're at the hour mark, and I got to go see a man about a job here real quick, so we're going to have to wrap this up.
Okay. Well, do you have anything else about online versus real?
Do
you want to clarify anything about yourself that people might think that is wrong?
Yeah, here's my question. This is for the comments. This is a little bit of a back and forth.
Yeah.
Two things. One, you can never truly know a person. I think you can assume you know everything about a person, and if you're lucky, you know most all of those things. I think me and Marquette know each other very well, but like, I'm not in her head, she's not in my head. It's only what we put out. And if that's how it is for someone that I love and that I'm married to and about to have a kid with, then like, imagine what it's like for someone that you watch on the internet. So you can never really know someone, but I think I'm willing to, at least in this next round of comments or anything like that, I'll clear up anything. And any questions anybody have, I'm not going to try to chase it down and be like, oh, well, maybe people think this and that about me. Nah. If there's something you think about me or you've perceived and you want to know, let me know. I will give you my most honest answer. And if I don't want to answer it, that's also an option too. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I think that's it for me.
What's funny? I also got messages, not message, but messages from different people that just out of the blue apologized to me for saying something that was like wrong. And I honestly, like, it's like years ago, or like something I don't even remember, or something that I didn't even read on YouTube. You know what I mean? And like, people will come like years later, like, oh shit, my bad.
Yeah.
And that's funny to me. And I always respond with like, hey, it's not a big deal, you know, like, yeah, I appreciate the apology, but, you know, just, I guess, learn from it. Then
do better.
Do better. Yeah. But it's funny that, you know, I do think that a lot of it has to do with age.
Yeah.
Because I do think that a lot of the very edgy comments are from people that just are immature.
Or never grew up. Well, I thought you were going to say young, and I was going to say or never grew up, but you said immature, which means the same thing.
Oh. So, yeah, I guess that's it. I don't have anything else to clarify about me. I don't think... I mean, if people want to know me, then they can listen to the whole podcast. And if they want to cast judgment, they'll just read the title and the thumbnail. And there's nothing I can do about it.
Wah. All right.
But you guys still give us engagement, so thanks.
The next episode is about... Do you have it? Do you know?
No, I don't, but we have options. So let us know which of these topics are the most interesting to you to learn about in the future.
How many topics you got?
One of the topics was we would interview each other about our past relationships.
Ooh.
That was one of them. Another one. I'm drawing a blank. Oh, people wanted a follow-up on the non-monogamy episode in terms of our boundaries, but like we said, we might not be comfortable doing that. But
yeah,
we will
I need
see.
to think about what that means.
We'd have to structure it in a way that we are comfortable sharing. People do want us to talk about our OnlyFans experience too, which we can. Yeah. Anything else that you guys want us to talk about? We're very open. This is an incubator of ideas, if you will.
An incubator of ideas.
We will just take whatever you guys want us to discuss and we will run with it.
Indeed. And for anybody who's thinking that I look like I'm uncomfortable right now, I have to shit so bad. So I'll see you guys at the next episode. Yes. Also, this couch is blocking the vent. It's not cool on the couch anymore. It's warmer by the window. Like the AC is under us. It's not getting... The other couch let it breathe because it was lifted up a little bit. This one's pretty warm.
Well.
All right. Bye.
Bye.